Hi, Jack Canfield here. Welcome back to another segment of Talking About Success. My next guest is Sharkie Zartman. She's a professor of health and a former USA national volleyball team member. She's the author of Take on Aging as a Sport, another book called Shark Sense, and wants to empower people to take charge of their health and their life at any age. Now, you shared a story with me earlier today about a doctor's visit and
Oh,
the transformation. Well, no, I think that's a critical part of why you're doing this. So you want to share that?
Sure. Well, I've always been an athlete and just really, worked hard to get to the top of my sport. And I always felt really good about myself until one day I went to the doctor. I was 47 and, it was just a regular visit. And he goes, "Well, how are you?" And I start, going, "Oh, okay, well, I'll tell him how I am." I go, "Gosh, I'm really tired, and I my knees ache all the time, and, I get these bruises on me when I wake up in the morning, and I wonder who beat me up, I don't remember it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm getting wrinkles and acne, and, I'm gaining weight, and I have this roll, on the bottom of my stomach, and my doctor is just sitting there, and he's shaking his head. He's kind of laughing at me a little bit. And I go, "Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at." And he goes, "All these things are normal for your age, Sharkie." And he goes, "And it's going to get worse." And I went, "What? Really?" And I feel like I was old. And
Right.
so I go, "Can't you do anything, Doc?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." "Oh, yeah." And so he reaches out and he grabs a prescription pad and he writes me a prescription for Xanax. And he goes, "Well," I go, "what's this for?" And he goes, "Just take it. It'll make you feel better. But if you feel like killing yourself, stop taking it and give me a call."
Oh my God.
And I go, "Well, what about the roll?" And he goes, "Oh, there's nothing you can do about that." And so I went, "Oh, gosh." So I went out in the car and I just went, I am so pissed. It reminded me of when I was young and they said I couldn't be a, premier athlete. And so I just thought, there's nothing I can do. There's something I can do. And so I went right to the yellow pages and I looked up liposuction and I got that puppy sucked out right away. And I decided, doctors do things to keep you healthy from, disease and injury and those things. But this aging game, we got to take this on ourselves. We got to step up. And so that's what I'm trying to get out there is, by the way, they said when they took it off, they said, "Oh, the fat will never come back," but they forgot to tell me that it will come back to the nearest closest place that has fat cells. And so it went to my butt. And so,
Right.
yeah, but I guess it's in style now. I don't know. But I'm not doing any of these extreme things anymore. I'm focusing on lifestyle because that's what works.
And you're really basically saying you don't have to age like that doctor said.
No, really. I feel a lot better now. 20 years later, I feel a lot better now than I did then. And I think it's because I've been kind of all of a sudden taking a look at my life. Well, what got me there when I was in that office that day? Well, I was driving home, going through, the drive-in restaurants, drive-through restaurants, and working out really hard and, probably crunching my joints. And I just wasn't taking very good care of myself. It's kind of like I took my health for granted. And so, yeah, so I think lifestyle works. It gives you some control. It gives you some empowerment because I see too many people that just give up. They just get to a certain age and they go, "Well, that's it for me. I'm 50. Let's have an over-the-hill party." And that's, and they just decline because they just don't do anything. And we see so many people doing that these days. We have 10,000 people a day turning 65 or older. And if all these people believe this paradigm that we have about aging being an acceptable period of decline, it's going to be horrible, not only for them, but for our society. So we've got to step up.
Right.
Yeah.
You use the term empowered aging. What do you mean by that?
I mean taking control of what you can control. I'm from a athletic background and from UCLA, and I remember
You were on
Coach.
the USA national volleyball team.
Yes,
Yeah.
USA national volleyball team, and also UCLA's first national title team.
Oh, cool.
And so I played when John Wooden was there, and I had some friends on the team. And The player said, Wooden always says, control what you can control on the court. Don't worry about what you can't do, or do what you can. Don't worry about what you can't do when you're on the court. And I think that's really good coaching for anybody. Don't worry about what you can't do, what you can't control. Control what you can.
And so you've taken this metaphor, it's called take on aging as a sport. What do you mean by that?
Well, in a sport, you are challenged. You need to learn skills. You need to learn the rules of the game. And when you're in a game, you never quit. Athletes don't quit. And so they're very focused and determined on winning, and they don't win all the time. But when they get knocked down, obviously, they get back up and get ready to either go back in or for the next game. And so too many times, people, when they get knocked down, they stay down. But an athlete, at least an athlete that's played at a high level, they're focused. When they get knocked down, they find out why they got knocked down, and they take care of it.
They study, they get coaching, they get feedback, they
That's
figure
right.
it out because they don't want to stay down.
That's right.
They want to play full out.
That's right. So that's why I use that metaphor. And I know it doesn't resonate with everybody that hasn't played sports, but I see so many people that haven't played sports, but they watch it on TV and they just get so upset because they think that, oh my gosh, they should be doing this, the coach should be doing that. And, so I think we all have that inner
We're all
athlete.
familiar with sports, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, exactly. Now, is there a common misbelief people have about aging?
Yeah, I think that they have no control over it.
That's
And-
the
yeah.
I'm not in charge of my own body.
Right. Everybody ages. We can't stop it, but we can control how we age. And I see people in their 80s, 90s, even 100 that are living life to the fullest. My dad's 93. He's so healthy. He gets on a rebounder every day with one of those body blades and works out, and he's like one of the happiest people I know and one of the healthiest people I know, and he's 93. And I see some students that in my class that don't have that kind of energy.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Well, I went back to my high school reunion. It was my 50th high school reunion. And there were guys there that looked like they were ready to be in a grave.
Yeah.
And then there were guys that didn't look all that much older, and they look when they graduate high school.
Right.
And it was just a matter of, like we're saying, habits, what you eat, and your attitude about things, and your beliefs, and exercise, and so on. I saw a guy on TV not too long ago. He's 80-some years old. He was very muscular. He was sitting in a full lotus position, but he was juicing, and he was exercising, he was meditating, he was doing all these right things. So it's possible.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's also fun. I mean, when you take good care of yourself, not only do you feel better about yourself, but you're able to do more. I mean, I have 2 grandkids that I love, and I want to be able to play games with them and, get out and be energetic. I don't want to be going, I can't do that because I'm too old.
Right.
And so, yeah, I want to keep living all the way vibrantly to the end. And that's my goal. I want my second half of life to be as good or better than the first half.
I love it. I love it. Someone shared something today, it might have been you, talking about what got you to 60 won't get you to 100.
Right, right.
I love that idea.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now you talk about a holistic approach to health. What do you mean by that?
Well, again, it's not just one thing. It's not just the physical. And one of the areas so it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, but one of the areas that I think is really important is the social aspect. Because a lot of people, when they get older, they lose connections, they lose relationships, and they feel very alone. Or people want to do something with their lives, but they're with people that complain all the time. And so it kind of drains their energy. They're like psychic vampires, and they pull them down. And so I tell people, get a new tribe, get people that, share your goals about what you want your life to be like. Share your interests, but they're not going to come to you. You have to go out and find them. And the people who are usually the happiest are the people who have the most, relationships that are good, the most love in their life. And I think that's one thing that we're not really talking about that much, is the power of the social health and relationship.
I saw a headline on some news article recently that said loneliness is the new cancer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because people just, and they're just by themselves. They don't have any stimulation, and they just start to decline, and it's sad. It doesn't have to be that way.
About 20 years ago, a coach I was working with said, start making friends with people at least 20 to 30 years younger than you, because most of the people your age are going to die because they're not taking good care of themselves, and you're going to need friends who are younger.
Oh, that's interesting.
You
That's
think about that,
interesting.
though. I mean, if the people aren't doing what you're saying, taking on aging as a sport and holistically taking care of themselves, a lot of their peers who aren't doing that won't be around when
That's
they're 80 years
true.
old.
That's
So
true.
it's really important to make younger friends as well.
That's true. But, one of the things that I see that's common is people are embarrassed to say how old they are because they're going, oh my gosh, I don't want anybody to know how old I am. And instead, I think we should turn that around. I think we should be proud of our age. I think every year on our birthday, we should go, God, I made it another year. Look at all the people that didn't make it.
Right.
And so, we need to just stop thinking about how, we want to be young all the time. I think our soul never ages, but our body does. And so we should just be, accept our bodies and be really, really happy if we're healthy. I mean, yeah, and we can work towards that, and we can work towards having more energy, more vitality, and because we're not gone yet. There's still a lot for us to do. There's a reason why we're still here.
Exactly.
More to learn, more to share, more to experience, more to love, and want to make sure we're healthy enough to be able to do that.
I agree. So we have this wonderful book, Take on Aging as a Sport. You have some other books. You also do seminars and do speech, and you give talks and consult with people, coach them. How do they get in touch with you?
I have a website, Sharkie Zartman, my name, SharkieZartman.com. And I have my classes there that I teach, some of my other books, and I have some things in the works. And I really want to get out and help people and do seminars and just really motivate people to get fired up and take charge of their life.
Well, you are definitely fired up, so I think
I am.
I think you're doing great.